So today is our first episode of networking on live stream sessions. I have with me Steven, which is the live streaming veteran, Philippe, Inês, Marcelo, and Ryan, which I think you're not the private Ryan, right? So let me put everybody on the same level. Okay. So thank you for being here. Hope you are doing fine. I will start with my good friend Steven. Steven, please introduce yourself to everybody so we can know who you are.
Thank you, Marco. Thank you for the invitation. I'm Stephen. I'm based in Wiltshire in England. If you think Stonehenge is 17 miles away, then you know the area of the UK they actually live in. I've been broadcasting live for the last 5 years. Enjoy every moment of it, and enjoy broadcasting with Marco. It's always a show full of surprises, and I'm happy to answer anybody's questions about streaming on live video.
Perfect. So, Philippe. No sound, Philip. Okay, your Charlie Chaplin movie. Let's go. No.
I love these parts of live video shows.
Okay.
Yeah. You just got to roll.
Can you hear me now?
Hey, there he's in.
Oh, yeah.
We can hear you.
Okay, Philip.
So I'm from Porto, and I actually produce. I don't appear on the shows, but I produce live shows and business events for a company called Basilium. So it's pretty much what I do in terms of marketing.
Okay.
Stuff. Yeah, simple stuff.
It is.
Hello. Thanks for inviting me. Well, I'm from Portugal, from a town called Leiria, between Lisbon and Porto. I'm an English teacher, okay, and I'm just starting my e-learning platform. So this is a big challenge for me too.
Oh, great. And the next sir on the screen, Mr. Marcello. Tell us a little bit about you.
Hey, thank you, Marco. Thank you very much for the invitation. I appreciate it. Well, my name is Marcello Arcele. I'm based out of Atlanta, Georgia. I'm a salesman at heart, but I've been producing a few LinkedIn live shows. And Marco's been a guest of mine several times, so much so that some of my shows last as much as 4 hours long. So it can be pretty kind of crazy. So I've been doing this. I'm new to it. I've been doing this for several months since late last year. So I'm still learning. So I'm definitely looking forward to learning you guys' advice and tips and tricks on how to improve your image and your brand on LinkedIn. So again, thank you for the invitation, Marco.
It's a pleasure and an honor to have you here. And next, Ryan, which is not the private, which we need to save. Please, Ryan, introduce yourself.
All right. My name is Ryan Swanstrom. Thanks, Marco, for having me. A little bit of how I got on the show. Marco sent me a message yesterday, and then he sent me a link today, and I clicked on it, and boom, here I am live. I just right into the show. So here we go. I'm Ryan Swanstrom. My background, I'm a data scientist by training. So I'm a math nerd. But beyond that, about 2 months ago, I started doing live interview shows, and I've had Marco on the show, and I just really like it. And so now I call my show the Example Show because it's an example of how you get started creating an interview show. And so that's what I do. And so I'm excited to learn from people who have done this for more than 2 months. So it's exciting. Also, I don't know how long this is going to go, but I can only be on about 15 more minutes.
Okay. No problem. So, Miguel.
Hi, Marco. Thanks for the invitation. It's very good, very good initiative being here with some pros of this live stream, and I'm looking forward to get some knowledge with all of you. And thank you again for the invitation and for this excellent initiative. what I do for a living, I explain digital transformation to startup and small and medium companies in Portugal, and I use these tools as live streams and YouTube channels and others to promote their business. Thank you again, Marco, for the invitation. Looking forward to these great events. Thank you.
Ok, perfect. Olha, assim ninguém nos vai entender. Enquanto que eu vou passar a palavra à Linda, por favor, pões aí o teu nome para toda a gente saber quem
Okay.
Linda, how are you?
I have
Can you
no
hear me?
idea what's going on here, so I'm excited to find out what this is all about. I clicked the button and here I am, you know?
That's it.
Just like Ryan.
Yeah, hi, Ryan.
Introduce,
Hi.
introduce yourself, and
Oh, okay.
after that we'll start asking people questions. That's it.
Okay, my name is Linda Sunshine West, and I'm from San Diego. As far as live streaming, I've done over 3,000 live stream videos, and I just love it. It's really changed my life. It's helped me gain a lot of confidence. And I'm here to see what this is all about and see how I can participate and maybe add some value, possibly.
Perfect. So, my friends, we have here at least two specialists on live streaming. So, I think it will be nice for those of you who are starting now to ask them, at least to Stephen and Linda, everything that you want to know. What do you think about it? Ines, ladies first. Ines.
I have done some live streaming, and actually today I'm doing a live class on YouTube. I would like to know, okay, what is more important? I'm having some, about the technical part mainly. What are the most important equipment that we need to have in live streaming?
Stephen, I see on your face that you want to answer.
I do, yeah. I'm happy to answer. When you start live streaming, you can use the camera and the microphone that's actually on your computer, whether it's a PC or a Mac. That's the best way to start. As you get bitten by the video bug and you want to do more and more, then the way to improve the quality is to get an external camera and external microphone. If you're looking at cameras, then you can start around about $90 upwards, and you can get a Logitech C920 or a C922 or a Logitech Brio, and that's the one I'm using at the moment. Microphone-wise, computers are not really good at sound, and sound is important because when people are actually watching your broadcast, they're more than likely actually surfing and going to the web pages. So you need to have good sound. You could start with a lapel microphone, which is I had a Sony one, which is about $35, and that just changes the whole tone of your voice. So instead of sounding tinny, you actually have some bass in there, and people will actually be able to hear what you sound like in real life. So camera and microphone are two of the most important things. Getting away from using your desktop or your Mac, internal ones is the first major step, and it shows your commitment to live broadcast.
were able to hear them clearly. So it is interesting. It's like testing these different things out, see what works best, and whatever works best, do it. If your computer's working, it has the best sound, use it. You know, there's no like right or wrong. The right or wrong is to test it, measure it, see how it works. And if it works, great, awesome. If it doesn't, try something different.
Yeah, actually, the distance of the microphone was exactly the same as yours, but I believe that microphone is designed to be used just in front of you, like a podcast microphone. So I think the problem is the microphone itself and not the distance exactly. Well, there might be some technical issues also how you record it and stuff, but I think the experience was very interesting.
Well, that's another thing about the Blue Yeti is it does have different settings where it'll pick up like a whole room. You can make it so it's situated so it picks up only whoever's like right in front of it. So it does have different settings, and that's one thing I really like about this microphone is it. I was in a large room with hundreds of people, and I was interviewing people right in front of me, and we could clearly hear our voices, and the ambient sound was not even being picked up, and I was really surprised that happened, but pleasantly surprised.
Perfect. Marcelo, tell us.
Yes, sir. I actually have a question for Linda about the microphone because I have a Yeti as well. And the two challenges that I have is, or, one challenge and one question about the audio. I've seen different live streams and even some YouTube videos. And sometimes I see the microphone, they have it elevated or sometimes like yours is in plain view. However, the reason why I bring that up is that I noticed the audio, it's fuller. So I was curious to know, I use a Mac and I was wondering if you had either a repository or a location I could go to find how to tweak the audio settings to, provide a more richer sound. And the second, then my challenge is on this one that I have, if I touch it, it disconnects, like the USB connector on the bottom. So I literally, if I leave it there in place, I'm fine. But if I literally just touch it like you did earlier when you lift up your microphone and you were talking in it, if I dared to do that, it would get disconnected. So I'm just curious to know if you ever had an issue like that.
I have, and actually, because of the Yeti and the way it's situated, it has this USB connected to my computer. And this connection got really bad. So you know what? I went to like a Best Buy store, here in the US, and I paid like $6 to get a new one. And that fixed everything. All it was the cord. So it could be that your cord is just a bad connection and, spend a couple bucks to replace that. But then regarding the microphone, so mine is on a stand. A lot of them, like you said, they have them hanging up, from, something, another stand. The challenge that we have when we have it on a stand is this up. Whereas that's why they like them to be hanging. So nobody's like, banging it or because like a lot of us, like I talk with my hands, like sometimes my hands hit the microphone. So it's just like, what is it that you want? What does your setup look like? Are you able to attach one of those stands that hangs from the top? If not, like if you have, it's like mine's sitting on top of my laptop right now. It's just sitting right there and I can easily bang the table, but I'm just more careful when I'm doing my videos, which is kind of cool because it's made me become more careful. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I'm the same way. I have my setup is similar to yours. I have it on the desk and it's in front of me. I have it. And I believe I watched the video. So their recommendation is to have it in a slight tilt. And I'm talking in where the blue logo is facing me. And I have that heart shape option, depressed or selected in the back. And that's the one that I use when I'm on, whenever I'm using it personally. But if I know about the different settings when you're in a room, like what you talked about earlier, to make sure that it's recording all around. So, but what about the audio settings? Do you know if there's a way that I could change it? Because I'm not sure if there's software that Blue offers or something that I could do to, if that's available.
Yeah, so I'll share, I don't know if you can tell where the settings are on mine. If you could solo me, Marco, that would be awesome. So I want to see. Okay, so here's how I have mine set up. So if you notice, the gain is about 3/4, and I actually have the infinity symbol selected. So that's how I have mine, and I've tested it ad nauseum, different things, and I recorded like 10-second snippets of the same thing over and over and over again, testing all the different ones. Then I listened to them closely, back because I wanted to see which one was the best setting for my situation. Again, I have these hardwood floors. It's a very big room. It's a small, big room. And, I have the dogs in the background. So depending on what your setting is, but also with the Blue Yeti, it came with at least mine did, it came with a little cheat sheet. If you have this kind of room, if you have this kind of room, use that setting. So this is the setting I use, and it seems to work really well. I do podcasting and I do live interviews as well.
Okay. I just changed mine to your setting just now.
Cool.
So I did
How
it
it works.
in that same position, and I changed it to infinity. So did you guys notice a discerning difference on your end?
I don't notice one. Does anybody else?
Not really.
No. Okay.
No.
We'll just keep trying.
around with action oriented women or for women who are action takers. And so finding that niche is really valuable, because then what you're going to do is you're going to connect with those people who you want to connect with, first of all, and those people who want to be connected with you. And so when we're not niched down enough, then it's kind of like willy-nilly and nobody knows what to expect. Why should I show up? I'm not sure if it's valuable for me. So by changing this up and you having a topic each week or whenever you're doing your streaming, it's really going to help people see why they should show up for this particular event, right? For this training or whatever that you're doing. Congratulations on niching down.
Perfect.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I felt the same way as well, that I put myself in my viewers' shoes and I was thinking, okay, why should I tune in this week? Why should I tune in? So when it comes down to niching, I recently started a series with someone else on LinkedIn, and we do that every single Monday. And I've noticed the engagements have been much higher on those shows because they're predictable, meaning that they know what time and day we're going to go on live. That helps a lot as well. And then second, having a topic at least you give a reason for someone to tune in, because if it's relatable. So that's the same thing as well. So yeah, so thank you very much for sharing that.
Yeah, good for you.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Ines, thinking about going live on LinkedIn?
Actually, I guess I'm too inexperienced, but I want to learn, and I have applied. I guess I'm waiting for my approval, my 9 months approval, and I'm learning. Okay, I'm doing live streaming on Facebook and also on Instagram and on YouTube. Okay, and I'm learning. Thank you for all the information that you are sharing. And yes, I'm planning to buy all that equipment. Yes, I had Marco had already given some of these tips too. He also shares excellent information. And yes, I'm learning. I'm learning with all of you. Yes.
Well, congratulations. There's a saying, you don't have to be great to get started, but you got to get started to be great. So
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, I love it.
Yes.
started.
And-
Yes.
Linda
And
and
then-
I
Sorry.
have a show. Linda and I have a show, which we must revive, which is called Just Do It. And
Yes.
the idea behind the show is you can think about something as much as you want, but nothing happens until you actually just do it. The background behind me is my hometown. That's Burnley Football Club. And I just want to get it on the record that football returns in the UK today, and that Man City,
They are not.
Man City are playing Arsenal tonight at 8 o'clock.
They
Just let you
should
know.
take the rules of COVID, social distance. They are not.
Yes.
Okay.
Steven, go for it. Sorry.
No, I'm totally thrown, so it's over to you, sir.
No, I think he was saying just to make sure to practice social distancing. I think that's what he said.
Yeah.
So, Miguel,
I totally agree with Linda, Steven, Marcelo, Inez, and Philippe. I think the most important thing for to find our path is to focus on a niche, on a number of people that can really follow you with interest content that we can produce, and that is the thing that I'm feeling starting this new adventure is really to find a niche and then to expand it. And thank you so much for your valuable insights.
I'm seeing Philip laughing. Philip, what do you want to say to us?
I have this experience of people wanting to do YouTube channels and now live feeds, and what I say to them before they start is, instead of focus on something, just do anything. Start with a blank sheet, because I believe that once you start filling that sheet, at the end of it, what you have is that niche. And because if you start focusing on the niche beforehand, what happens is, I think you probably, what I discover is that you end up having a way better niche for yourself, because you're presenting. And I think that most people just wanted to do something that they think are good of. And I think this blank sheet and filling the sheet, and at the end of the sheet thinking, oh, I really like this, I'm really good at this, and let's go on this path before the idea, the first idea I had. I think people need time, like fruit. Fruit needs time to be mature, to be eaten. And I believe that in order to just start doing something really serious, why not, instead of starting doing some videos, doing them, cell phone videos, simple stuff, just to make people comfortable, coaching themselves. Start with a blank sheet. I think we need to give time. I think that the LinkedIn move, it's a smart move, because it gives people, it attracts people, right? So they look at the historical feedback they have and say, oh, okay, these people have experience, they have made live feeds. LinkedIn is a professional network, so we want to make sure that all of the live feeds goes properly and people know what they're doing. So I think and a lot of people would need to start. But if you put someone who has no communication skills, who has not be able to be in front of a camera, to be articulate, I think it's very difficult to start doing live stream. So there's a long sheet there. There's the A3 sheet there to be filled before you really go live, or even a podcast. It's just so hard to do it, because you have so much things going on that your mind gets get overwhelmed really fast. So it's a long process. I think I normally say it takes 6 months for people to get used to the camera, to get used to the microphone, get used to all the system. I use a system with several cameras, so it's difficult. There's no red light on the camera, so you don't know which camera is on. So it's really hard. And so people normally are rushed into it because it's really easy. You get on the phone, put live on, and you're live, right? No, don't do that. Just start simple, start experimenting, and then you get your niche at the end of it, and then you get your experience, and you get your whole image and stuff like that. And Marco knows that, because he does a lot, so he does a lot of experiments, and probably he will be much better in a month than I will be in a year, maybe.
It's interesting. I hear what you're saying, and come from my perspective, I have a different perspective, and that's because I had so many fears in my life. And in 2015, I decided to face a fear every single day because I had so many fears. And doing these videos, at that time, there was no such thing as live video, for us normal human beings, not, TV newscasters. And I would do a video every single day because somebody asked me to do a video every single day. And I was like, okay, I will. I was so scared to do it. I was terrified. And like you said, 6 months, it took me about 6 months to feel comfortable. But if I hadn't done those videos every single day, if you think about it, it took me 6 months every day to become comfortable. So how long would it have taken me if I didn't do them every single day? If I didn't put myself out there, if I didn't challenge myself, if I didn't jump through the fears? Fear is debilitating, and it stops us from doing what it is that we want to do in life. And so it's, to me, it's more like, I've helped over 450 people do live videos, for their first videos, getting themselves out there. And the confidence that I have today is nothing like when I first started, a couple years ago. And it's amazing to see what can happen when we put ourselves out there, especially breaking through fears. So now I've been able to break through a whole bunch of different fears because of the challenge that I put myself under to break through those fears. And for me, my mission is to help people put themselves out there, good or bad, happy, sad, just put yourself out there, because that's how you got to get, you just got to get started. It doesn't matter when or where, but you got to get started. Again, you got to get started to get great, right? So I hear what you're saying, and there's different, it depends on where you're coming from in your life. if you're experiencing fears about doing this, I say just do it. Just get yourself out there and just do it. If you're at the point where you're already doing a lot of videos, but you're not doing live videos yet, there's something that's stopping you from doing it. Figure out what that is, and then go start doing them. If you need to have a timeline of everything you're doing, just create your timeline and follow it. I'm not one of those. I'm like, just go live. And I showed up here today having no idea what this is going to be about. And
Nobody.
He's like, look up. And it's interesting. So that's the type of personality I have, though, is like, just do it. That's like Stephen and I, we had our show called Just Do It for that reason. And, but yeah, I totally hear what you're saying. For me, I come from a different perspective, though. I want to see people put themselves out there. You're going to mess up. So what? Laugh at yourself. I mess up all the time, but I like, oh my God, that was so silly. I just laugh at myself and just keep going. But I'm not looking for the like the professional thing. I'm looking to just put myself out there in a way that is showing who I am, who I really truly am, goofy and all. It's like me for me or don't, and it's okay either way.
Well, time to hear the live streaming veteran about this, because I think Stephen has so many information to share about this. Please, Stephen. No sound.
I'm on screen. I've no idea what to do next. The problem is that we're all afraid of going live, and that's a natural fear, but it's one you can actually harness and give you the energy and the buzz to actually start your show on a high level and to reach beyond the screen and get people involved in what you're talking about. Now, what you're talking about should be stories. And either you're sharing your own stories or you're asking your guest to share a story. Now, when you have a guest, there is one golden rule that you should follow, and that is that you should talk less than your guest does. People have actually come to watch your guest. They know who you are. I mean, they see you every week. Your guest is the most important person on stage. They should be center stage. You should be able to ask a question and then, never ask a yes/no question. Pointless. You want to ask a question which is actually going to bring a story out of them. And back in the day, Peter Ustinov was an amazing storyteller. I'm going to show my age now. Michael Parkinson in the UK, great interviewer. And he interviewed Muhammad Ali, Cassius Clay. And Mike would have a one-word, one-sentence question, and then Muhammad Ali would go and talk for the next 20 minutes. That's the sort of thing you want to engender in your guests. You want to give them the freedom, like Marco's given the freedom to me, to actually say and tell their stories. Right, you can take me off now. Please?
No, you're my guest. Please. Stephen, I have to ask you this. I have to ask you this because I think it's something that we don't realize before we start. It's how much we learn and how much we get from doing this when we are talking about friendships, connections.
I think that these live video is magical. It's the best way to connect that's ever been invented, and we're fortunate that we've all three of us been in this 4 or 5 years, got to know. I'm talking about yourself and Linda, and basically got to know the system as it's grown. We've met people from all around the globe who we can call friends, and it's through the medium of live video. I mean, you can go live, we can talk to people, and comments can be shown on screen. We can get interaction with the guests, and that's very important. So the most important person in the interview is your guest. The second most important person is not you, it's your audience. Because your audience want to participate. They want to have their say. They want to ask their questions, and you should bring them their comments and their questions on screen when you can. Now, one of the annoyances that I have, and there are not too many of them, but is if I was in the middle of saying something, I'm in full flow, I'm talking away, and all of a sudden this comment appears at the bottom. It's probably going to do now. My reaction is to actually go and read the comment, puts me off what I'm doing. If you're hosting the show, then don't show every comment as it actually arrives, because that distracts you, distracts your guest. Say to your guest Right, let's take a break for a moment. Every 10 minutes or so, let's take a break and show the comments now. Okay, that's the end of the hints, tips and tricks. If you want to catch me doing this live, you can do it in the Belivers group every Tuesday at 12 p.m. Eastern for an hour solo. And it's good to be on the screen with other people. So I'm going to be quiet now. Marco.
So we have
Steven's
here.
a few words.
Okay,
No, Steven, I like that advice
Karina,
about the comments.
Okay, perfect. So, Marcello, you're in the middle.
Yes, sir.
You're starting this process, these connections, and this learning. Share your takeaways from this, please.
Thank you. I definitely want to echo what Steven said about sharing the comments or set certain times to set the comments, because I got into sharing the comment frenzy. Like I see a comment like, and then I noticed recently that I saw my guest eyes look down, and I noticed most recently that could be distracting. So I was thinking that I was considering, you know what, let me do that because at least I can acknowledge the viewers, but at the same time I didn't realize that it is distracting if I'm not going to address it. So thank you very much for sharing that. It reinforces the best behavior. Now, to what Marco said, yeah, I'm new to live streaming. The only thing that I might have ahead of other people that are starting live streaming is because I'm in sales. I'm used to talking to perfect strangers every single day, looking them straight in the eye, asking them thought-provoking questions, open-ended questions for them to open up, so I can understand if we could be a good fit. So talking or babbling for a long time is not hard for me. However, like what Steven said, same thing. It has like the 80-20 rule. So you only can talk 20% of the time and allow your guest or customer to talk or speak more of the time, so you can actually learn about their business or learn about your guest. So given that said, as I'm going through this journey, I've decided to, follow a few hashtags like the obvious, hashtag LinkedIn Live, and I view other producers, and I've engaged with their content so much so that they appreciate my engagement, ask me about why I'm doing LinkedIn Live, and we've exchanged numerous calls, and we exchanged best practices. So that's one thing I definitely recommend for anyone starting to view other people, see their style, see their presentation. If you see something you like, apply it. Like one thing that I do like that other people have done is that in the beginning of the show, they'll ask, hey, if you're watching live, let me know in the comments, or if you're watching replay, let me know in the comments. I like that because you're engaging with the viewer, either if they're live or in the replay. Another thing that I've noticed from other folks that they've done, and I think this is standard in broadcasting, is throughout the show, let's say 10 minutes into the show, reach out to the viewers and say, hey, if you just happen to tune in, we're talking about XYZ PDQ, and, so just to let folks know when they jump in. So I've been implementing that throughout the show as well. Another thing I will recommend for anyone that's starting out, once you've gained some interactions with other producers and other LinkedIn Live streamers, is explore collaboration. If you see something that individuals are talking about and you have similar views, reach out to see if you can collaborate. There's one person, his name is Daryl Perry. He has a show that he does 3 to maybe 5 times a week, and he liked the concept that I was doing with Cocktails with Cello because it was more of a networking kind of format show, but he wanted to do something more structured. So him and I decided to collaborate, and we did something called Linked Lunch. So like LinkedIn, but hashtag Linked Lunch. So we do that every other Thursday. So it's a networking show during the day, and that's allowing me to collaborate with him, and also people that he's connected with sees me, our collaboration, and potentially we could collaborate with his connections as well. And then lastly, when it comes to guests, what I found valuable before getting on a LinkedIn Live is to schedule a call with your guests via Zoom, preferably, because it can be a video call, and talk about what they want to share on the LinkedIn Live. You know what I mean? Maybe talk about the framework. Okay, so tell me exactly how would you want the conversation to flow? Not necessarily to script it, but to get some sort of framework. So then that allows you to guide the conversation. So for instance, if I'm talking to someone about SEO, search engine optimization, I might ask, we might agree that the first question is going to be is what is SEO? So then I could bring it up on the lower third. And if someone just happens to tune in and sees that on the lower third, chances are they don't have to ask me a question like, what are you guys talking about? So then my guest could expand or unpack that topic. And then we can continue. So if we agree to maybe 2 to 3 different bullet points, that allows me to move the conversation along and also, I guess, put down any fears that my guest might have, because now the guest knows exactly what we're going to talk about. He just has to, or she has to expand on each individual bullet point. So the fear or the uncomfortable nature of going live is out the window, in case, because that can be quite typical. So those are the 3 things that I've been incorporating, that I've noticed that when I have engaged with a lot of my connections and also collaborated, and then lastly, offer my guests an opportunity to relax and talk about what they want to share on the show, has allowed to increase people that want to be on my show, and also my engagement on the shows that I've had in the past have been better slowly as I continue producing more shows.
Absolutely perfect. Let me. Well, as you said, if you are watching now, please, and if you are watching live, please hashtag live. If you are watching the replay, please hashtag replay. And we have also here Danielle. Hello, Danielle. If you want to join, if is there someone watching us and wants to join the show, please use the link which is there up in the comments, so you can join us and share some ideas with us, ask something, or
Marco,
just
can I ask a question of everybody who's here? Because I have it's more like I'm not sure if it's an opinion question or what have you. But first of all, I thought SEO stood for super energetic opportunities, by the way.
Oh, I like that one. That's good. Okay.
Came up with that.
That's that corrected.
I like that so much better than search engine optimization. But I have a question about countdown timers. So I've been noticing some people will do, up to like 5-minute countdown timers. I've actually seen a 10-minute countdown timer. And I'm just wondering what your thoughts are about countdown timers, whether it's timing, whether it's type of timer. Do you like the ones that have just a number that it's counting down? Or are you thinking, like for me, I'm thinking that if I'm going to have a countdown timer, I want it to be something that is having the countdown, but also being something that's intriguing, that when people are scrolling by, they're going to stop and want to see what this commercial is or what have you. So I just want to hear everybody's thoughts on countdown timers, if that's okay, Marco.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think I should start with our countdown expert, Stephen, please.
I used to hate countdown timers, I've got to be honest. If I saw a countdown timer, I would walk away and go and do something else, especially a 5-minute countdown timer, as Linda said. 5 minutes is being very cheeky, because unless you're going to remove it when you edit the video afterwards, it's a pain. You're not going to get any replays. However, that said, we're now in an area where we're going to be simulcasting, and we're simulcasting today. We're not just live on Facebook or YouTube or Periscope. We're live in several different places, and the problem arises, a practical problem, in that the time it takes to connect to YouTube, to Facebook, to Vimeo, to Periscope, they're all different. And that means, as host of the show, you have no idea when the show starts. So I've created now 38 1-minute countdown timers, which means you can actually go from 60 seconds, 20 seconds, whatever you want to do, and it just plays at the start of your show. They're on YouTube, they're freely available, they're not branded, and it's cathartic for me. I enjoy doing them. I create 6 every week, and I use them in my show. And the thing that blows me away is that because I've made these countdown timers free, and they're on YouTube, and all you need to do is take the link. People are actually using them in their broadcast too. So I'm now a convert to 1 minute countdown timers to actually cover the connection times for various platforms. And if you need a countdown timer, then check out YouTube and just type in Showcaster, all one word, or my name, and you'll find them. They're going to be an integral part of what we do. I don't think we can avoid them. I think you can edit them out afterwards if you want on Facebook and YouTube, but I always use them every single day of the week. Thank you for the opportunity, Marco.
Thank you. That was Showcaster on YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Thank you.
There are 38 of them. Basically, what I've got is, before I got into live video, which is all I do now, I'm a software engineer and I design software. So I've just written a little timer, and I go over to NVIDIA, which is where I create all my business videos, and I combine that timer with stock video and stock sound to actually create a 60-second experience. That's the way I'm looking at it anyway, and they're free to use. So hop over to YouTube, type in my name, or type in Showcaster, and you'll find them all.
Absolutely. And you're a proud producer about these countdowns.
I love it. I love doing it. I don't have a. I enjoy doing it. I enjoy doing it. When people stop using them, I mean, I use them every day. So I'm doing it first of all because I can use them in my broadcasts, but they're free to use by other people, and they're being used and watched. I'll tell you, this is a true story, and I'm telling this against myself, and I don't have a problem with this. We went live on the show yesterday, and I'm not saying which one it was because I don't want my co-host to actually know, but we went live on the show yesterday on Facebook, and it got 60 views. Yeah, which is not bad. It's okay because the minutes that count. It's not the views that count. It's the minutes and the comments, the interaction. And we had plenty of interaction during the show, but we only had 60 views. I put one of my countdown clocks up of a giraffe. Well, not one giraffe, 4 giraffes. And 100 people have watched it. And it's only a minute long. So go figure.
Well,
Okay.
I think Linda is showing your countdown.
That's it. That's one of them. As I said, there are 38 of them.
Okay.
Something
Yeah,
for
sorry. I'll stop sharing screen, but I just wanted to see what it looked like.
And you can use the oh my god, I forgot the name of the countdown. Sorry, Stephen.
Showcaster.
Yeah, Showcaster.
If you're broadcasting from Be Live, which is where I broadcast from, then all I need is the YouTube link. I put that into Add Media. The video appears down below me in the same way as everybody's image is showing today. And then, beginning of the show, I just bring it up on the screen.
Perfect. Philip.
Okay, so my experience with countdowns as a user is I just do as Steve says, just go do something else. So I am of the opinion that more than 1 minute of a countdown timer is too much, right? But it's a golden 1 minute, right? You can. I think most people underuse that minute to just spend the time just preparing for the show. I believe that we should spend more time doing something funny or something interesting, especially for me, which I work with businesses. That is a great time for advertisement, right? It's a great time for telling what you do, advertise other stuff. Use that time, that golden minute when people want to see your show, is paying attention to bring 4 giraffes, for instance, and showing something different, building curiosity, but also promote yourself. It's a free way to promote it. The timing is there, so I think it's underused. It's something I'm exploring for the Brazilian show we are doing. That I'll try to use that time to do the advertising. So yeah, it's something you really need to do because I have the same experience as Steven, where things are not in sync, so you don't know which part is live on the different platforms. So you really need that clock to at least put the things in order. So I think it's a minute or 30 seconds, something short. You could use it in a positive way.
Absolutely. Ines.
Well, as a user, I also agree that over a minute is too much. I wouldn't wait that long. Okay, we don't have any patience to wait more time than that. 30 seconds or 1 minute. I think that it might be interesting or create curiosity. Okay, if we are scrolling down and we see that, okay, and maybe the different images, and that can then catch our eye, and we will stay and watch the video. I guess it can work. Yes, I would be interesting. I see, Mark, that you use these clocks, and then they have the sound too. And I always wait to watch the video.
Thank you. Marcelo.
Hey, so I got a question before I talk about my concern about the thing, but I want to ask the folks that have been doing the streaming for the longest. I've noticed that, like you guys said, or I think Steven said, you never know when you go live. So even though you click when you go live, let's say, for instance, if I was going live at 1 o'clock, some of my guests or some of the people that follow me may not get notified until 5, 10, maybe even 15 minutes, I've noticed, after I go live. So I've noticed that people have made the argument to have a countdown 10 minutes, which I think that's a bit long. Not a bit, it's quite long. But I can see the argument to go having a countdown that could probably go 5 minutes, because you want to give time for the notification to show up in people's feeds. So that's my concern. I was curious to know, what you guys' opinions on that. Now, when it comes on to countdown, I go on Canva and I'll create like a video for the show. And let me see if I can share that with you here. And like, this is the one that we did for lunch, and I'll do like because it's lunchtime, I'll put some video that's relevant to the topic and animate it. And then eventually it'll go into a 10-second timer. And in doing so, I also have some music in the background. So if you're going to be waiting for a minute, at least entertain them as well. So, I'll just do this based on the show, and I'll put the hashtag there as well. So to encourage people to follow the hashtag that we're doing. So I'm curious to know what you guys think about, longer shows or longer start points. If there's any validity to that. So let me know what you guys think.
Why, for me, my opinion on this, first of all, I love what you did with Canva there. I'm using Canva as well to do videos. It's an awesome program to do videos on. Something nice, simple, and short and sweet, right? But my question on this is, are you going to be deleting that countdown timer if you're going to do 10 minutes? Because really, it's the replay viewers that are the majority of the people who are going to watch our videos. Our live viewers will, like, I've had videos where I've had one live viewer, that's stuck on for the whole time. And then the replays, though, I had hundreds of views. So who am I catering to? Am I catering to the live viewers, or am I catering to the replay viewers? I myself prefer to, the live viewer is there, of course, I'm catering to them, but I'm thinking of the show as if this is going to be a replay. The majority of people are going to be watching are replay viewers. For your short clip there, first, me, even as a replay viewer, that would be fine. Like, that wouldn't be distracting to me. But 10 minutes, I'm not going to watch a 10-minute replay video. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's my thought on it.
Yeah, and can't you edit the video afterwards on LinkedIn, or is that option available?
Yeah, you can trim it at the end and at the beginning.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Let me put this volcano on the screen.
Well, I would like to add something.
Okay, you can talk.
Yeah. So I thought the idea really clever, and one thing I would do is that I would make my that video myself. So you put a stock video, right? So why not do yourself eating one time, like finishing lunch a few seconds before getting out of the table, and hey, I'm coming, and it's just a recorded video. It's fine.
I like
But
that.
I think that will build curious because you're busy now. You're eating, right, and people will wait. So I think instead of using stock footage, you do something yourself. I think that it will increase your views much longer. But you have to do it.
I like that. It's definitely great for branding. I like that.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Thanks.
Now you
that's a great idea.
Yeah, looking forward to see that because it sounds easy, but you really have to do the video, and the timing must be right. You know, you have to build the tension, like building the tension. So I think people use stock footage. I'm kind of against stock footage because I do video. So why not just shooting yourself doing something or something funny, something off script, like the giraffes, because makes people curious. Why the hell the giraffes is on this show? But it's curious, building the tension, But if your face appears, your viewers will be much more interested because you connect with them, right?
Yeah. Now you got me thinking, Philip, because like I've shared earlier that I have the show called Cocktails with Cello, so I can just position the camera in a nice angle that you can see me creating a cocktail, and that might be kind of neat. And now what you said about lunch, I like that as well. That's pretty neat.
Thanks. Yeah, do that because it's really interesting because you're doing cocktails, and some people might not be just. You capture the attention by the movement, right? You're just not talking. You're doing something, and people will be more entertained by that. More focused. Their focus is keep turning on to you. So that's the key element. And one thing I do for companies is that I say to them, do the live shows standing, move, talk with your hands. Make sure that you're seeing your waist up. And your hands are moved because you talk with your hands, right? Like Linda said. And instead of being sit down, unless you're having a conversation though, if you have a presentation or a class or something, do it stand with your waist showing upwards with your hands, and you move and you have something to do, something to engage the attention them, not just what you're saying, what you're doing. And that is a double communication of what you have to say. So people will pay much more attention to what you're doing rather than what you're saying, and I think that helps. So that initial video with something you do, right? You don't want to say you don't need to say anything, but if you do something and you add audio onto that, but the music is fine. You don't need to add sound, but if you add sound, makes it more hilarious, and if you add humor, even better. But on the live video, if you're doing something. And doing something that you're talking about, is even better. So it's communicating with the image, not just speech, right? That makes
I love it.
That's funny. Like I love doing karaoke, so I could totally see me starting my shows just doing a song, like a karaoke song. Just something different.
That's great.
That'd be fun.
Neil.
Great insights. Just enjoying this live stream. Great insights. Learning a lot. I've learned already thousands of new things that I'm going to implement. Thank you all for sharing these great ideas. Never thought of this of the countdown. I will try it and test it and see the results. But it seems like a very good idea. But I'm loving all the insights. Thank you.
Perfect. So, my friends, we are coming to an end, and this is time for you to promote whatever you want. If you want starting a new course, a book, a class, whatever. I know that, for instance, Mr. Healy has something to share with us. Please, you have the time to share, to promote something. Be my guest. Mr. Healy. No sound.
Okay, I just want to promote the power of live video. It's an amazing resource that we're lucky to have. We're at an exciting time where things are happening and changing almost every day. As Linda and I would say, just do it. Just go live. I've nothing to promote apart from going live. And if you want to chat anytime, just Google me or find me on Facebook or ask Marco. And I'm here to help anybody who actually wants advice and assistance in going live. Thank you, Marco.
You're welcome. Philip, what do you want to promote?
Well, actually, I can't promote my the show I produce because it's in Portuguese and it's for business.
Yes, you can.
So,
Yes, you can.
Yes, please.
But I'll try to. My goal is to be kind of like Marco, but or Linda, to help people to manage or at least to help businesses to use social media and create content and create good content where people can share their products, their services, and themselves, right, for their products. So it's what I want to do, and today it's been really interesting. I think this idea of Marco is working really well. That's fantastic. I'm enjoying that, and thanks for the sharing. Thank you all.
Perfect. Yes.
Well, first I would like to thank you, Mark, for the invitation, and thank all of you for the wonderful information that you shared. Okay, and I have to promote. Okay, I'm starting my e-learning platform to teach English to Portuguese people and other people who want to learn English as a foreign language. And today I have a live class on YouTube at 8:45 p.m. Okay, thank you again for all the information. I'm going to try all this useful information, and I guess I'm going to contact you to get some further advice. Thank you. Thank you all.
Feel free, all of you, to share some links, insightful links that you want to share on the comments, please, whenever you want. YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Periscope, whatever. Okay? Mr. Cello.
Hey, thank you very much again for inviting me to today's show. I definitely learned a lot, so especially when it pertains to creating your own personal intro video and keeping it less than 10 minutes. I think that's the tip that I'm going to take away from today. I don't have anything to promote. What I definitely recommend anyone watching this video, I'll put just connect with me on LinkedIn. What I love to do is actually offer my platform. So anyone watching this video and they do not have access to LinkedIn Live, reach out to me on LinkedIn and schedule a Zoom call with me. I'd love to see how I could help you promote what you love to do, and just like to learn more about you. So if anything, give me a shout. Let's schedule some time on my calendar, and I would love to see how I can be of service to you and your tribe. So thank you again for the opportunity, Marco.
You're welcome, my friend. It's a pleasure. Linda.
I'm sorry. I think I shared my screen accidentally when somebody else was on, because I don't know what I'm doing here. But I'm going to share this really quick. I'm just excited because I created this video just last night using Canva, and I wanted to just share it really quick. This is my promo video.
After you show us the video, I want to look into that contracts folder. I want to take a look what's in those contracts.
I watch the video first. Can you guys hear the sound?
No, we can't. We can't see the video either.
Okay, that's something to figure out. Okay, it's much more exciting with sound.
Yeah, at the moment we can only see your Explorer browser. The video is not playing.
Okay, so you couldn't see the video at all?
No video at all.
Yeah, you must have selected the folder to display rather than the video.
Oh, okay. Good times.
Want to try again?
Oh,
yeah. Why not?
Yeah,
you guys don't mind? Okay, thank you. So let me.
Well, now we are here.
You created the tension, like Felix said.
The expectation.
Whoa, what is that? So, okay, let me figure this out. Hold on. Bear with me a second here. I've never done it this way.
At the beginning of a Star Wars film.
Okay, now it's okay.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Sorry, Linda, is there any audio there?
Are you able to hear the music?
No.
No.
Oh, okay. What did I do wrong there?
Is there a feature or function, Marco, that you have to select audio like you do in StreamYard?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I didn't
Okay.
see that as an option there.
Mm-hmm.
There's my video I created. I'm so proud of it.
That video is on fire. I love it.
The video is on fire.
That's awesome. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I don't see an option here like in StreamYard where it says share audio.
Maybe
I don't see that as an
you
option.
should change the audio option, the microphone, instead of the microphone you're using the audio from the computer. Maybe.
Well, there's not an option here. Like when I go to share screen, there's no option to select share the audio from my computer.
It should be on the cog
On where?
setting.
On the cog setting.
Yeah.
Oh,
Audio input.
okay. Should I try it again?
Yeah. Okay. Let's do it.
Let's see. The options are communications, microphone, external mic, and microphone.
Steven.
Audio guy.
Yeah,
Communications. That's my Yeti.
yeah, I've got communications crisp. It's not. I don't think you can actually. You should do it by default.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, Linda, we're going to have to come to your page, post a link to your page with a video.
Yeah. That's it.
And watch it.
Okay.
Or
Okay.
you, LinkedIn or YouTube or something for us to go there and see. Miguel.
Thank you.
Marco. Marco. Well, in Cookie Tech Consulting, we have this tool that is triple GD. That is a digital sustainability tool we can implement on companies regarding circular economy, making digital processes and other processes more sustainable. So if anyone is listening to this great live stream and wants to do a live with me or an interview and have more information regarding this tool that we implement in startups and small and medium companies, please be free to do it. And Marco, thank you so much for the invitation, and all you guys there, thank you so much for the great insights that you shared. They are really useful. Thank you.
Perfect. Well, my friends, it's time for me to say thank you to each and all of you. It was a truly pleasure. It was, I think, all of us get some enrichment. I'm always learning. that's
So are we.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So next time the show will be in Portuguese. So Inês, I think you will be pleased to teach Marcelo, Linda, and Steven Portuguese.
Of course, anytime.
Awesome.
For Marcelo, I think it will be not that hard because he speaks Spanish really well. So I think you may nail the Portuguese. So thank you a lot. I hope to have soon. I think every other week we will do this to rest a little bit. Thank you a lot. I think the show went well and hope to see you soon. And for those of you who are watching, please let us know how it was. And if you want to join the next time, please tell me on comments so I can do a follow-up and bring you to the show. And I will promote Marcelo's show, cocktail show, next Thursday.
Yes.
Tomorrow.
Yes.
I will say the Portuguese and English time zone at 11:30 p.m. Till I don't know, but it's a really nice show that you should take part to. So, my friend, thank you very much. It was a really pleasant experience. Hope to see you again.
Yeah.
Behave
Thank
and
you.
take care.
Thank you,
Thanks for
Marco.
having us.
Bye bye.